1983's Blood Rage takes place in and was filmed in Jacksonville, Florida, which is both the headquarters of Water Cooler Films and is now best known for being mentioned as a joke in the movie Deadpool. So, right off the bat, I'm watching this movie from an entirely different perspective. I realize this is only of interest to maybe 3 of you watching, so I'll try to keep the Jacksonville talk to a minimum. Still, for me, it's kinda cool. Blood Rage has many titles, as movies in the genre often do. It was shot under the title Complex, then released somewhere as Slasher, which is the title on this print. Later it was released on video as Blood Rage, and then re-released in 1987 with the title Nightmare at Shadow Woods. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to refer to it by its most common title, Blood Rage. Our story begins in 1974, where Louise Lasser is on a date at the drive-in, and she's had to bring her twin boys along, much to the chagrin of her date. The boys bail when they see their mom making out with her fella, and one of them, for reasons never explained, jumps straight to murder as he finds an axe and introduces it to the face of a young man, making sweet backseat love to a special lady friend.
I thought I heard somebody scream.
You did. Then, in the ultimate dick move, the murderous twin frames the other one for his crime. And despite a crowd of people seeing him do this, the innocent twin is sent to an institution. 10 years later, in a bizarre sequence where a character on screen is suddenly narrating over the information her character is actually giving.
Saw Maddie Simmons, Todd's mother, for the first time today. I don't think she was quite prepared for what I told her.
We learn that the previously catatonic twin now remembers exactly what happened and is proclaiming his innocence. Not long after, he escapes and heads home. Upon hearing this, the homicidal twin starts killing again, popping up whenever characters are about to get frisky and continuing to frame his brother via murder. Blood Rage plays its hand way too early, as this has all gone down in the first 20 minutes. The rest is just your standard stalking and slashing, with various interludes of Louise Lasser being really weird.
I'm from the Institute. I want to see your mother.
Dr. Berman, did you find him?
No, I haven't even looked yet.
What's that gun?
It's okay, Mom.
Oh dear, Louise Lasser, you've done so much better. These scenes with her are just awful. The director is doing her no favors at all by letting the camera linger while she acts weird, or just not at all. Boy, what a well-executed scene of terror. Blood Rage has its moments, the music is alright, and the effects are well executed, but overall it's just not much of a slasher movie. Although I will say it being shot on film and lit properly is nice, and that helps, believe me. But there's not really a lot here to hold on to, unless you're from Jacksonville, Florida, of course, and even then that's barely noteworthy. Although here's one interesting bit of non-Jacksonville trivia about Blood Rage. In one scene, some characters are huddled together near a television playing a video game, as you would do back in 1983. What's fascinating though is that they're playing a little scene Laserdisc game by Williams called Star Rider, in what had to have been an advanced marketing tie-in, since no one was playing Laserdisc-based games at home in 1983. Still, I geeked out quite a bit for this, and it's another curious footnote in this less than stellar film.
The game has fully operational handlebars, a motorcycle-type throttle with constantly variable speed control, turbo button, and a 2-level brake. And, for the first time ever, the incredible simulation of a rear-view mirror, providing an additional dimension and strategy of play.
Arrow Video's Blu-ray is packed with extras for what's surprisingly considered a cult favorite, somewhere. Now, once I'd learned that this was shot right here in Jacksonville, Florida, I'd planned to go out and shoot some video of the locations, do a little tour for you, but turns out someone already did this for me, and it's one of the many featurettes on the disc. Also notable on the disc are interviews with stars Mark Soper, Louise Lasser, producer Marianne Cantor, and special makeup artist Ed French, who all give Jacksonville some slightly backhanded compliments as they reminisce about the production. Soper talks very highly of the film and of his time working on it, which of course makes me feel bad as I didn't like it as much as he does. Lasser, who I believe has a functional VCR sitting next to her, takes some responsibility for her odd performance. But she shouldn't have to fall on her sword, as that's ultimately the director's job to make her look good. Producer Cantor then explains that the director and Lasser didn't exactly get along, and the director even walked off the film at one point, so that explains a lot. There's also a 3-minute interview with Ted Raimi, who had his first acting job in this film, a role that lasts even less than this 3-minute interview. These are just some of the highlights from disc 1, mind you. The second disc in this set contains the 1987 alternate cut of the film, entitled Nightmare at Shadow Woods, which is shorter than the main cut because it removes almost all the violence and special effects. as well as several awkward Louis Lasser scenes. It also rearranges scenes involving nudity to where they make no sense, and adds in other scenes that were nowhere to be found in Blood Rage. It's an interesting variation, but I wouldn't pick this one over the other. Thankfully, there's a composite cut that's basically Blood Rage, but with the deleted scenes from Nightmare at Shadow Woods edited back in. That might be the one to watch. Blood Rage is an interesting curiosity, but that's about it. Those of you like me who know Jacksonville will find it slightly more appealing, but for everyone else, it's just an odd little blip on the slasher radar.
No matter where you come from, no matter who you are, when you're in Jacksonville, you can feel like a star in Jacksonville, a city that's always growing. It's a melting pot.